Welcome to Dreamy Tales, your bedtime haven. Prepare to embark on a journey of tranquility and relaxation. I'm here to weave enchanting stories that will gently guide you into a restful night's sleep. Subscribe and let the soothing whispers of Dreamy Tales be your nightly companion. Twilight Tranquility. Chapter 1, A Nighttime Story. The tranquil realm of Eversong was bathed in purple twilight as the last rays of sunset faded behind the misty treetops. Willow watched with wide eyes from her home, nestled high in the canopy, still timid of the darkness slowly descending. Below, the villagers were making their way along winding forest paths toward the cozy glade where Aster, the dreamweaver, spun her magical tales. Willow's friend Lumen was buzzing impatiently. "Come on, Willow, it's story time. Aster always knows how to chase the shadows away." But Willow clung tighter to her mossy nest, trembling at the thought of venturing out as night fell. In the glade, the villagers were settling among the tree stumps and fallen logs that served as seating. Fireflies drifted lazily through the dappled light, their glows flickering to life one by one as evening deepened. At the center, Aster sat calmly upon an old willow stump, attentive to each guest with her warm eyes. "What story will soothe us tonight, Aster?" asked Blossom, the elder tree sprite. Aster gazed up at the velvet sky taking shape above the trees. "I see a curious sprite in need of comfort," she replied softly. "Young Willow watches from afar, too shy of the dark to join in merriment. But her wonder grows by twilight, as does her fear of what mysteries the night holds alone. So I will spin the story of Willow, and how through new friends she learned there is nothing to dread in gentle dusk or dim woodland glades." The villagers nodded, settling in as fireflies swirled like falling stars above their heads. All were ready to be transported by Aster's lyrical voice. And high above, though still trembling, Willow leaned forward with interest, hoping the tale would give her courage to face her fears of the waiting woodland wonders after dark. Chapter 2, When Darkness Falls. As Aster began her tale, the glade faded away, and Willow found herself amid the boughs of her tall treetop home. Around her, the forest was bathed in the soft oranges and pinks of twilight, birds singing their final goodbyes to the setting sun. Below, squirrels were busily gathering nuts and scrambling home before darkness fell. Glowbugs winked to life beneath broad fern fronds, and bats swooped low, searching for evening insects with high chitters and squeaks. Willow watched it all with interest, though her tree seemed to grow taller and more isolated as night steadily approached. The last sliver of sun dipped below the misty tree line, and twilight surrendered to dusk. Shadows crept from between the trunks, lengthening until the foliage below became an inky sea. Crickets and katydids raised their songs to fill the silence, but to Willow, their chirps sounded eerie and unknown without the sun's reassuring warmth. What strange creatures prowl when light has faded? She wondered aloud with a shiver. Above, the first stars emerged as tiny pinpricks in the deepening blue. Though they shone with cheerful constancy, to Willow their stare seemed too cold and remote, without the comfort of peachy treetops and emerald leaves below. A rustle in the brush made her squeak and burrow into her moss bed. Two reflective eyes peered from the darkness, ovals of amber that watched her silently. For a long moment, Willow froze, certain this was some nighttime beast come to claim her for its meal. Then slowly, two twin orbs rose into the air, glowing brighter as they ascended. Great glowing wings unfolded around the eyes, which blinked to reveal a friendly, furry face. It was only a pair of glow bugs come to investigate her calls. "Greetings, little friend. What worries you so on this fine dusk?" They buzzed, circling Willow's treetop home with their soft emerald light. She hesitated to speak to creatures of the night, but their radiance was soothing, and she told them of her fright at finding herself alone as shadows swallowed the land. The glow bugs understandingly nodded. "Many are fearful of what they do not understand, but come, the night has wonders beyond your branches that may change your mind." Chapter 3. Glowing Friends. As the last glimmers of twilight faded to a deeper blue, the glow bugs led Willow gently down her mossy trunk toward a glowing picnic below. All around, the forest had come alive with bioluminescence. Pools of blue lit up beneath broad toadstools like tiny, peaceful lanterns, while lavender foxfire shone from fallen logs blanketed in gray-green moss. Fireflies drifted on the breeze in swarms that wove swirling, glowing patterns through the night. Their lights mingled and wandered before blinking out as if blown by some unseen hand, only to spark up again along new paths through the dusky glades. Willow watched, entranced, as the living lights skipped and fluttered around her like sentient stars floated down to earth. "It's magical," she breathed, all traces of fear now forgotten. The glow bugs buzzed happily in agreement as they floated among the bobbing lights, their green-gold forms blending into the dazzling show. In a moonlit clearing up ahead, more friends were waiting amid the dancing fireflies. A family of glowworms had strung jeweled lanterns of silk between the ferns and grasses, while clusters of lightning bugs winked colorful signals in the shadows. "Come meet our comrades of the night," invited the glow bugs, leading Willow forward across fallen logs, veiled in colonies of electric blue fungi. In the clearing, a picnic was spread across glossy leaves, mushrooms stuffed with berry fillings, dandelion fluff cakes dripping with dew, and cupfuls of nectar flowing from trumpet-like flowers. Willow timidly greeted her new friends, enchanted by their night-adapted forms, from the glowworms' pulsing lanterns to the fireflies' colorful, synchronized flashes. "The dark holds just as much beauty as the light, if you know where to look," a lightning bug remarked kindly, seeing Willow's wonder. A glowworm strung another lantern overhead as the moon peeked between the trees, casting everything in a soft silver sheen. Willow knew now that fears of mystery were nothing when friends stood alongside, and more than ever she cherished the gifts friends brought to each new discovery, lighting the way both literally and in spirit. Chapter 4. A Moonlight Picnic. Under a canopy of silk lanterns and winking fireflies, Willow spent the evening exploring further corners of the forest that had remained unseen by day. The glow bugs floated alongside, their gentle lights illuminating hidden wonders around every tree and beyond every fern frond. In a quiet glen, cushioned by deep mosses, Willow spied a family of green moonrabbits washing their velvety paws in a pool of silver moonshine. At their approach, the rabbits looked up with luminous, opal eyes before returning peacefully to their bath. Further along, orb spiders were spinning spiraled star charts amid their dewdrop-flecked webs, the constellations mirrored in miniature by gemstone patterns on their backs. Through shadowy colonnades of ancient oaks, Willow and her new friends came upon a moonflower bower, where great white blooms larger than her whole body were slowly unfurling their satin petals under the moon's soft blue beams. As they paused, a glow shone from within one of the trumpets. Two eyes peered back before a moth fluttered up on delicate wings, veined with pearl. It flitted around Willow, who giggled at its feather-light touch, then landed to nuzzle against one of the moonflowers with its long crescent proboscis lathed in delicate argent. The sight was too beautiful for words, even for one like Aster, accustomed to crafting sublime scenes with lyrical precision. All around was flooded by the moon's mystical glow, which lent even the most mundane things, the ridged bark of ancient trees, the delicate filigree of fiddlehead ferns, a magic they lacked beneath the common light of day. Willow raised her eyes up through the glowing lattice, above to the heavens beyond. There, a sea of stars carpeted the sky above the trees, their light reaching down into the inner forest, glades like wisps of the Milky Way floating upon gossamer threads. For the first time, Willow noticed how even the darkness held its own wonders worth marveling at, and that friends could share in discovering them. Chapter 5. No More Fears. As the moon climbed toward its midnight zenith, Willow's new friends led her back to the edge of the forest, where her home treetop stood silhouetted against the sky. The glow bugs floated up beside her, and along the winding path, fireflies flickered their farewells in swirling spirals of amber and emerald light. Willow climbed contentedly into her mossy nest, the sounds and scents of the glade now comforting companions instead of foreign mysteries. From within came the breathing of sleep as dawn's first birds called softly in the distance. Her friends had helped her understand that nightfall need not bring fright, but only change a scene's beauty from one marvel to the next. As Willow drifted toward slumber, she peered out once more across the glimmering woods with newfound calm. All around, the nocturnal orchestra was playing its nightly refrain, the bass chant of frogs emanating from shadowed pools, the alto chorus of crickets rising from the undergrowth. Overhead, stars twinkled like fallen fireflies frozen aloft, infusing the darkness with their steadfast glow. She smiled, ready now to greet each dusk without fear of what shadows may stir, knowing that in every nightscape were treasures worth seeing, which daylight never showed. With such magic happening right outside her door and friends to see it with, how could any sprite not love the evening hidden riches? Back in the glade, Willow's last thought echoed in Aster's melodic voice, speaking the final words of the story. Around her, the villagers blinked awake, as if from a dream, refreshed and soothed from the tale. Did her adventure help ease anxious minds, as intended? Aster asked softly. Murmurs of relief and appreciation rose in response. The darkness which once seemed formidable now appeared a gentle veil, and eyes looked to the stars with new appreciation for both their glow and the shadows between. As the villagers bid Aster good night and set off along paths flickering with fireflies, a small smile played upon her lips. Though stories were her craft, it warmed her most to see how they could help others craft anew the meanings found in moments too easily feared. And with that reminder of courage shared, her task was done for now, and tranquil twilight's wonders could unfold anew in the glade each nightfall without apprehension or care. As the stars twinkle above, it's time for dreamy tales to bid you good night. May the soothing echoes of our stories linger in your dreams, offering you a serene escape. Until we meet again under the moonlit sky, sleep tight and sweet dreams.